have camps, mostly in the summer, but sometimes other parts of the year too, where they have young people come in, usually ages 18 to 22, and they help train them and get them prepared for college, and by teaching them all kinds of issues related to a biblical worldview. And Jeff, I want to talk to you about another couple of issues, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about the camps, because I know you guys fill up early for the summer camps, don't you?
We do, yes. In fact, we're filling up very, very quickly. We're looking for parents and grandparents who have 16 to 21-year-olds who they want to live with a sense of purpose in life, have a feeling of closeness to God, be confident in what they believe, not be angry or scared when they go onto the college campus, but be able to be leaders as Christians. We're looking for those kinds of young people. The programs will fill up, and right now we're kind of closing in. March 31st is the end of our early bird pricing system here, and we probably will be full by then. So anybody who's been thinking about sending a kid to one of these 2-week programs to really help them get a strong sense of purpose and confidence in their faith, we want to know. We want to hear from them right away at summit.org.
Now, do you still have the Bryan College in Dayton, Tennessee? Do you have one there too?
We do. We have one in Dayton, Tennessee is one of our locations. That program has a little bit more space in it, but we only have one 2-week program there. It is in the month of July, and all of those dates are at summit.org.
Okay, go to this website, folks, if you're interested in what Jeff just described, either the camp in Dayton, Tennessee. Isn't that near Chattanooga?
It is, yes, right north of Chattanooga.
Okay.
Yeah, Dayton, Tennessee's got an interesting history. That's where the Scopes trial took place in 1925.
Yes.
When, Christians were really under the gun for believing that God is a creator. And a lot of Christians walked out of the public square at that time. And I tell you what, Tim, our goal is to get them to walk back in.
How many sessions do you have in Colorado? How many camps?
We'll have 7 of those 2-week sessions.
Okay.
So we will begin in the middle of May and move all the way through until the end of August.
Let me tell you something, folks, and go to the website summit.org, summit.org. Folks, it's absolutely essential if we're going to turn our country around that we raise immediately a new generation of leaders, of Christian young people who are leaders. They're thinkers. They are solid people. They are world changers, if you will. And one of the ways to do that is to utilize the summit. And so what you need to do, you need to go online, summit.org, and get it and find out the program, the cost. And you know what? If you're a leader in a church, you know what, if you can, and your church can afford it, you need to scholarship your seniors in high school to go to or juniors in high school to go to the summit, because it's worth the investment if the family doesn't have the money. How much is the 2-week deal, Jeff? 2-week camp?
If they sign up by March 31st, it's $995.
Does that include food?
Everything for 12 days, yeah.
For 12 days? That's lodging, food, everything,
food,
instruction.
Outstanding food, and it's a great event for 12 days, yeah. And then they'll be able to personally meet and interact with the top Christian philosophers of our day, the people who can help them answer all those tough questions that all kids have, like what about those who've never heard, and how can there be a good God if there's evil in the world? But then also help them really grapple with what's my purpose in life? How do I live in a meaningful way in the world that we're a part of today? It seems scary out there to a lot of people.
As much as anything, you don't have to be going to college for this, but as much as anything, Jeff, you guys want to prepare the Christian young person who's getting out of high school or is new in college for the kind of atmosphere that most Christian kids face when they go off to college. Whether the college has the college even may have a Christian name on it, but they're going to be challenged by professors who, in some cases, will mock their faith, but they'll certainly be challenged to defend their faith. I'm talking about the Christian young people and their biblical worldview, and so they need to have answers. They need to be intellectually prepared, and that's what the summit does. Ed?
Dr. Myers, it seems clear to me that, and I'm just speaking in broad generalities, I know there are exceptional churches and exceptional parents and exceptional young people, but the church in general seems to have been so slow on the uptake to understand what is happening in our nation, what is threatening our liberties, our freedoms, even the founding principles, that the threat to Christianity in this country is growing rapidly over the last 4, 5, 6 years. So Christians in general seem to be unaware of that. It seems to me that if that's true, then the young people in their charge would have the same deficiency, and that this 12-day, this 2-week summit camp or session would transform the vision of young people and open their eyes to see the spiritual and philosophical battles going on in our country. It seems like this could pull a 180 on a young person, where they become suddenly aware of even the influences in their own lives when it comes to media and pop culture.
Ed, I wish you could be out here for 2 weeks and see that process take place in the minds and the hearts of the kids. You can actually visibly see it. They come in, they're so tied into the culture, they're kind of dead to, they have no motivation. And then throughout the course of the 2 weeks, when they realize, wait, I can understand what's going on in the world. I can be the kind of person who makes a difference and becomes a leader. You just watch their eyes brighten. I know a lot of parents are thinking, I don't think my student could really thrive in that environment, but they can. You watch them really come to life, and because you're just giving them responsibility. You're saying, look, this is a decisive time. What happens in America right now with this rising generation will determine the course of our future. And we want you to walk alongside of us. And they raise their hand and say, yes, that's it. That's what I want. I mean, the strongest motivation in the heart of a kid is the desire to belong to a cause that's bigger than himself.
Hey, Jeff, real quickly, we got about a minute and a half left here. I maybe have asked you this before, and we get a lot of well-intended, well-meaning Christian brothers and sisters, and we all know them. We've talked to them, and they're going to tell Jeff, Tim, and Ed, you guys are spitting against the wind. Only thing we're supposed to do is, quote, share the gospel, and, the world's going to go to hell in a handbasket, so you just need to share the gospel.
Yeah.
What about that, Jeff? Answer that one.
Well, I'll tell you, in a minute and a half, let me give you the 30-second version. 50 years from now, our descendants are going to look back on our lives, and they're going to ask the question, when everything was at stake, what did they do? Did they give up? Did they wimp out? Or did they push forward with everything they had to obey God, even if they didn't feel that they could win? And they will honor us not for our successes, but for our perseverance. I want to be caught when the Lord comes back, preparing the rising generation. And, I love the Ronald Reagan quote. He said, I do not believe in a fate that will befall us no matter what we do, but I do believe in a fate that will befall us if we do nothing.
Hey, man, that was good. I'm going to use that at lunch today. Repeat that again. Who was that? Ronald Reagan?
That was Ronald Reagan. I do not believe in a fate that will befall us no matter what we do, but I do believe in a fate that will befall us if we do nothing.
Amen. That's good stuff. Hey, Jeff, thanks for your time, and we look forward to visiting with you again real soon.
Sounds great. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
Jeff. That's Dr. Jeff Myers at Summit Ministries. It's